It's me again. Happy to see you. Well, happy for you to see me. All right. Anyway, welcome. This is going to be like a spiritual talk sort of day. And it has to do with like how the energies are, but it's mostly a tool providing or a tool provision, sort of adding to your toolbox of how you can like traverse the energies. And goodness, what else? A look ahead. We'll do a look ahead, which is kind of cool. I'm really happy about that. I was told to pull my runes. So what happens is probably 5, 6 hours before I come to you, Spirit starts to talk to me and tell me like, give me impressions about like what the topic will be and what it is that I'm going to channel. So each of these talks are channeled efforts. I don't call them efforts, but that's just what they said. obviously, obviously the duality is present. So what I'll do is check in periodically. And moving forward, this is how I'm going to be presenting, because I think that the wealth of information that I have access to is wonderful to be able to put down in video storage. And so that's what I'm really looking forward to. And if it can be of benefit to others, then that will just expand my heart chakra even further. And so that's what this is all about. It's all about me imparting my point of view through the impressions that I receive in universal energetic uh, quantum fields. All right. Okay. So here we go. Wow. And this will be the only one I premise. We'll probably cut that off and that'll be like our intro.
That's
All right.
right.
Moving forward, moving forward. Thank you, Solange, for all of your support. I appreciate it. Okay, so a lot of things that we're going through right now can be looked at in a variety of ways. Mostly, if we can look at it as broad as possible, put it in as big of a container as possible, because that's what it seems like we want to do. We want to immediately pull it in toward us and work on it in a small space. And when we do that, we're limiting the possibility or probability of fully moving through whatever our brain is needing to detach from in story. So, the story, that's really what it comes down to. What is your story? We live the story we tell to ourselves. The connection that we have to our physical reality sometimes can get in the way of what our true spiritual nature and energetic, emotional, mental experience is. And that's always present when we're in our physicality and having an experience physically. And so enjoying all of those aspects at the same time allows us better processing. I call it processing, but really what it is we get to have a broader way of conceptualizing the story we wish to tell about the experience. And then when we have the retelling of it, it dials it in as it becomes a belief. So we create beliefs through our experience. And in those beliefs, it's because we're spirit and we're energy and we are physical and we are emotional and we are mental bodies, right? And there's many more if you would like, but those are the 5 aspect bodies that I kind of focus on. And in that, what we experience is important because we tell each of those aspects a story. So emotionally, we're engaging with ourselves, telling a story of ourselves to ourselves emotionally about how we feel and perceive those feelings and intuit those feelings and experiences. We do the same thing and then we store it because it's handy to have a history so that if it happens again, we know what the response is or we know what the emotion is. It becomes familiar, not so traumatic, allows us to, either have a greater charge that is undesirable if it's an unpleasant situation. That's how it would gather. And maybe a different sort of charge, like a joyous charge, if it's something that we wanted to experience more of. So that's how you can check when you sit with an experience if there is any kind of residual energy that you haven't processed. You can go into the experience and just kind of check it out and see like where it hits you, right? Is it thoughts? So that would be like your mental body, right? Is it physically um, in your body to where it is like a pain? Like, do you have a pain, right? Is there like a pulled muscle or something like that? Holding your two fingers, your middle finger and your index finger gently against wherever the pain is, right? And allowing your feeling brain and your thinking mind to come together to the pain, to investigate it, holding on to that, and then asking from both spaces in that one way, what is this? And then, can I release this? It's safe to release this. And then I release this. And you can pull it out and then put it into spirit acid. Spirit acid is something that we naturally have. Um, you'll sense it. We'll talk about that one later. Anyway, when you remove the energy, you can transmute it to a different energy and you can turn it into little white butterflies of unconditional love. That's like my favorite. If I'm going to walk into some kind of energy that somebody leaves, that would be the energy I would like for them to leave for me. So that's the energy that I leave for others. I think that's fun. Okay, so moving forward, it's one of those lines, right? I want to go ahead and pull a rune for like what's to come because of these emotions that we're feeling, along with Venus coming into Scorpio and the new moon and the eclipse. And the eclipse, the eclipse energy, it's not time for the runes yet. The eclipse energy is about hidden things that unseen things, internal shadow. And when you really look at an eclipse, especially a lunar eclipse, all right, a lunar eclipse, when it is that, it is into like the darkest crevices of your being that you go. Pluto recently came out of retrograde, so this time, this impact is very intense all at once, and then it seems to fizzle into everything. And so the contrast that you're feeling is natural, and it has to do with a lot of pressure from the other planets and their positioning. And these are the standard reactions that they've received throughout the years. And it's natural to us for us to behave when the planets are aligned in certain formations to behave certain ways. That's all. All right. Anyway, it's been a really good week. The darkness is actually the library of who we are, and it's like it when we do our shadow work, we're going into our akashic records personally and rewriting our stories with more healing in them. And when we do those healings, that allows us to live fuller, less encumbered lives, because we remove filters that cause us to react rather than respond. And these are all, you know, common theories and practices that are out there right now. Some of the applications are difficult to people because they have an idea that it's about doing. And it isn't really about doing, it's more about being. Learning to be in a doing society is very difficult. When you go into shadow and you see that, like, your natural state to be is love, and then you come out into a society that maybe isn't as welcoming as you would like for it to be, that makes it contrast. So that makes you stuff that feeling, and you create something that matches the vibration that you're going to move into. So that has to do with creating contrast within, because you're naturally in one capacity and you're choosing another capacity so that you can compensate for what you experience outside. And we do it all the time. It isn't something wrong. It's actually beneficial to us because it helps us to learn to process each of the experiences that we have. Okay. So that's what this eclipse moon is all about, is going inside and then learning the love aspect of who you are. So focusing on what story you have that tells you that you're in limitation, and asking yourself if it's safe to let that story go. And if it's safe, what would be a better story to tell of how you would like for your life to unfold in front of you? Like, what would you like to have happen? Because you already know what you don't want. So now you're in a position to choose what you want. So you release all of that limiting story. Oh, I can't do this until this happens. That's a limiting belief. It's okay. It keeps you safe. It helps you to focus in the direction that you're choosing to focus, but it's a story that propels that direction and focus. And depending on whether or not it is an efforted focus, that's going to be you deciding how much work you're using, how much energy you're using toward the situation. And when your energy feels depleted, that's when you start to regroup and rethink what your efforts are. And sometimes we'll fall into resentments of other people, but we're the ones that have created our situation. And it's usually because we think that others should recognize us for the niceties that we do. And then we'll stuff all those resentments in there. So some of those dark things can be coming up right at the moment. Those are things that you can write about. Right now, this particular energy that we're in for like 31 to 37 days is all about sitting in the charge of the shadow. So sitting in the emotion and the mental, and allowing yourself to honor yourself and allow yourself to know that those feelings are valid, that they're real, and to sit in them and let them have less of a charge. They'll never have no charge because it's an experience. It's a valid experience that you've had. So you need to honor yourself and sit in that, right? Because you're in a safer place now. And now you know that you could keep yourself safe. So sitting with yourself in the capacity of a past trauma or hurt is easier. Doing it while you're in the process, you have so much chaotic information coming to you, plus your emotions. You're trying to choose the ones that you want to feel, but your mental mind is trying to help you, and so it's a lot. Letting go is easier than we think, but sitting in the charge of it for durations, not until it's over. If you do that, hats off to you. But man, You know, you don't have to do that. Okay. A little bit at a time, let it be layers. Because, you know, don't be in such a hurry to get through this one to get to the next. Because that's what it is. So allow this process, learn what you can. Don't skip through the lessons, because when you skip through the lessons, they're up ahead in the next, waiting for you. So take your time. Take your time as you spiritually unfold and decide what your belief system is. All right? Give yourself the opportunity to be you. You are the most important person in your experience. Choosing to enjoy you is pretty important. So, you know, I have this program that I'm doing right now, and it's a pretty chill program. I like it a lot. It is in beta right now, so I have 4 participants, and we're all kind of going through things. Hold on one second, sorry. Anyway, that's part of the tools that you get, like if you participate, and it'll be released sometime in January, so that'll be kind of cool. Anyway, here we go. I want to pull a card for the group. I think that today feels good. Here, hold on one second. I had to get my water. Trying to make sure I don't knock over any wires as I get back into my cocoon. My apologies for being off camera for a moment. I appreciate everyone. Okay, so let's see. Gonna pour a bit of water. And then when I'm done adjusting, I'll come right back. Yeah, forgot to build the water cup. So I had like maybe, I don't know, like a couple of drops, and I was choking. So there it is there. That's all right. Okay. So I was getting ready to pull a card for the group, right? So today, since we're still in the shadow of the moon, right? The idea is to understand that it's the best time ever to release things. I would get as close to a tree as possible, so that way you can really allow the root system to support you in allowing Gaia to step in and just pull from you that which you are ready to let go, and transmuting it into unconditional love. Okay, here we go. Let's do a card pull. All right. Oh, nice. Yeah, this makes sense. So they're saying that it's like an extended Indian summer, even though it's chill right now. So for California anyway. And then we're in our deepest magic right at the moment. We are in a moment of power. And there's an animalistic quality to our desire where it feels very physical, very connected to like who we are. And I feel with this particular card that we're learning that we have to learn that balance of spirituality and physicality, like the masculine and the feminine. And I really am enjoying the card as the card keeps unfolding to me. And so I have always thought of this card as a very feminine card, but this is presented as a very masculine card. And so I think it's pretty cool. And I'm going to show you like what the card looks like. All right. So it's like half, there you go. And then it says power on the bottom. And so this is the Psychic Tarot. And so the Psychic Tarot is one of my favorite decks. I really love this deck. And then this is representative of the Strength card from the, what you would call in the Major Arcana. So this is the Major Arcana. This is the representation. This says power. So when it came in, it was kind of exciting because it let me know that we're moving as a people, right? As a people forward into our strengths. And so I think that if we call it in properly, that we'll go ahead and have a great time, producing that which we desire in our community. Because I feel it getting like a lot stronger where we're teaching more people to connect to their heart chakra and really think about, you know, using this brain rather than this brain so much, using this one maybe for, you know, storage and memory and then, you know, that sort of thing. Processing both. You have to process both. Anyway, that's something I would like. So with this particular card, I also see that we're in a graduated magician state. So that also lends that there is adequate tools. Okay. And we are at like our next evolution of how to use those tools. And that means that we're ready and equipped. So that probably answers a lot of people's questions if they have this thing in the back of them that is pushing them or propelling them or compelling them to move forward at a faster rate. Yeah, that's the calling. So that's perfect. Yeah, you're part of the ascension that's going on. People like that word. You're attaining enlightenment. That's what you're doing. It's very good. All right, that was a great card. I'm very excited by that card. That's nice. I went to pull a rune earlier and I didn't because my voice started to get choked up. I started to talk about the program and I didn't because my voice got choked up. And then I was like, well, what is this? What am I allowed to talk about? What am I not allowed to talk about? Like, what is this prevention? Is it me that's getting in the way of this? No, because I talked about it again and a little bit came up, but it was because I got to explain. All right. So now I'm happy. What? Oh, what a lot of shit. Where's my free will? No. I could talk through anything. No, I'm pretty good at that. All right. So today, what I thought I would share, because all of us are calling in this version of unconditional love, we're asking for unconditionality and acceptance, and we want compassion to be employed along with understanding, and then we want love beyond anything we've ever done in our life. And that is grace. We're looking for grace. All right. And so that energy of grace, universal grace, where you start to feel the universe has like this immense amount of unconditional love just for you. There we go. That's a good place to be. We need a little bit more water. Perfect. Okay. So today I thought I would share um, an altar placement kit that we have. And I call it an altar placement kit because when you set something up with intention, whether it's an aesthetic or convenience or ritual, okay, it's still an altar. All right. It's how you behave with it is how it is, but it's an altar. All right. Now, what I did was I went ahead and I made these kits, and these kits are really cool. I'm really happy about these kits, but the reason that I'm sharing it is because for this particular energy, this kit would be really good. All right. All right. It's called uh, I forget what the kit name is. I'll have to look it up. But it comes with a little abalone shell. And you can really see the color in the abalone. It's really pretty. All of them are pretty and genuine. All right, so it has a little abalone shell. And it comes in a bag. Nice little bag with a zipper, so that way you can take it with you if you're traveling. So it's nice to set up. It creates a nice energetic space. It comes with a couple of crystals, and it also comes with like an oil, and it comes with a little talisman. Anyway, it also has this gem jar, and the gem jar is sealed with wax, and it comes with instruction, and it's pretty easy. The reason that I pulled it out in particular today is that I want to encourage you to create a focal point, like an altar, that will represent your love to yourself, how you honor yourself. All right. And these kits are great for that. And we'll go ahead and we'll tag that at the end. But I want to encourage you to develop something that has meaning to you. So if there's like an old piece of jewelry that maybe your mom wore that would bring in the divine feminine, and you have a good, healthy bond with that individual, that would be nice to bring in, right? Something maybe with divine masculine, if it's a father figure, that's great, or maybe a mentor, that would be great. I'm not saying that it can't be, but it could be a mentor for a female as well. So in that aspect, but maybe not so much role models. It could be, but then you're going further afield. What you want to do is you're just bringing the energy of love in. All right. So people that you know is better. And then allowing yourself to maybe have an object for you. Okay. And to have it funnel toward you. Okay. Or funnel up to you. Right. Support you or bring it to you. Okay, either way. And then having it in that sort of a configuration, which is like a triangle, okay, or a triangle, that allows you to tap into that piece of sacred geometry, which is in many pieces of sacred geometry. And it allows you a better connection to all that is. And so that's just really fun to do. That brings in the energy naturally for you. So using particular stones like rose quartz, those have, those are naturally connected to unconditional love. And things like that. Anything that's going to support the story that you wish to bring in that particular configuration with that intention, that's what will happen for you. And so that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. All right. Okay. Well, that's been a good show for me. What do you think, Solange?
I think it was great. We talked
Oh,
about a little bit of everything. We covered like the eclipse energies that are huge right now, right?
right.
And we had some viewers there interacting with us, so I'm pretty
Okay.
happy about that.
Oh, okay,
I just
great.
dropped the link for the abalone kit, clearing
Oh,
kit.
oh, okay, great, great. Thank you so much. And then
You're
maybe
very
some
welcome.
rose, like pick up some rose quartz because rose quartz is good. They could go ahead and that would be nice.
I
Or
always
tag
have
the rose
mine
quartz.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes,
I
that
have
feels
them here
good.
with me.
That's good. All right. Well, I guess we're out.
Bye, everybody.